Everyone who lives in the Murray-Darling Basin, everyone who lives in rural and regional Australia has an interest in the well-being of their community, the health of their system, and the future of their economies and their towns and communities. And I think that's what brings us all together.
To make sure that we've got the right amount of water for those irrigation towns, for those river communities to not just survive but to thrive, is crucial to the key economic success of our nation.
A lot of the communities in the basin are undergoing massive change. Agriculture is changing, automation is changing things, and on top of this we've got climate change coming in.
If there's one thing the Murray-Darling River system needs as much as rain, it's leadership. The Murray-Darling Association, Australia's peak body representing local government across the Murray-Darling Basin, is launching a world-first program to identify, educate and mentor the next generation of water leaders. The Basin Communities Leadership Program is providing candidates in 15 communities across 3 states a groundbreaking opportunity to become a powerful voice in the increasingly complex world of water management.
We're looking for established leaders, emerging leaders, people who have a passion for their community and are looking to lead for change. So we're looking for people who have an interest in water, but not necessarily people who have been immersed in that space for a long time.
This is a great opportunity to make a mark in this whole system, and in what's a very complicated system. You can really go a long way when you start out in this area.
So I think there's an opportunity for Australians here to learn about what is one of our scarcest resources, its fundamental efficient use and how to best apply it.
If we grow water security, if we manage it well, we'll be able to get that agricultural output to $100 billion by 2030.
One of the great challenges managing water in Australia is that while there are many people with expert knowledge of water policy, agriculture, the environment and other demands on the river system, there are few who understand all the challenges and how they impact each other at a local level. But all that is about to change. Participants in the Basin Communities Leadership Program will have extraordinary access to political, local and regional leaders, cutting-edge resources and the opportunity to undertake a vital local project, emerging with a unique broad knowledge and skill set which they can use and share.
We can learn how to deliver our objectives, how to live in a world with less water, how to achieve the productivity that we aspire to by working together and learning, listening, knowing and understanding where we want to go and how we want to manage the resources that we have available.
And this is an opportunity to get a whole group of people educated and for them to pass that on to their colleagues and friends and families and so on, all through the towns of the basin.
We look forward to those young people, those young leaders of tomorrow emerging, putting their hand up and saying, I want to work in this space, I want to make sure that my community gets its fair share and making sure that they identify the problems but also have solutions.
Anything we can do that improves the skills of everyone that's involved in the Murray-Darling Basin, whether they are irrigators, whether they're environmentalists, whether it's the community, whether it's local government. I think we need to take those opportunities where we find them and every opportunity to improve your knowledge and increase your learning is a good one that you should take.
Every decision we make is based on water. We consider about how to use it most effectively. We consider about how much we can take from the stocks that we identify in people's dams and streams and rivers. And we make decisions about how to apply that to the landscape. None of the decisions made about water when coming to firefighting are made easily.
If last summer's devastating bushfires taught us anything, it's that leaders are found in the most unlikely places and often in the most extraordinary circumstances.
It's really interesting to look at our last fire season and see the people that stepped up and weren't even on the radar for being able to lead people, but they just got in there and they had a go. And what made it interesting was that they had, deep down they had the knowledge and the education behind them, so they knew about the basics of firefighting, they knew the basics of water application, and they knew all of our tactics, but they maybe never had a chance to get out there and lead people.
And leaders aren't born. Leaders learn the skills. So leaders are listeners and learners, and they take a lifetime approach, a lifelong approach to creating a vision and bringing their community with them to achieve a strong and positive future.
It could be an absolute breakthrough. We have a lot of ideas about the basin. We have a lot of scientists to understand it. We have politicians, but are we listening in detail to the local people? And I think that can make a huge change.
The Basin Communities Leadership Program will begin with 2-day workshops in Murray-Darling communities, from the cotton country in the Northern Basin through to the Coorong in South Australia. The water in the Murray-Darling River system provides a lifeline to communities, industries and agriculture, and to our nation, creating a generation of people who can work together to understand how best to use, save and share water could be a watershed moment in the management and understanding of our most precious resource.
We're in a period of really unprecedented change. We've got change in water availability, we've got changing agricultural practices, we've got changing demands and market patterns. And so rural and regional communities particularly are really having to navigate a future that requires thought, leadership, capability and a vision for something that's far more positive than we hear about quite often.
It's absolutely important to find the next generation of people who are going to take the issue of water security and water management, water resources forward. We need those young people, and some not so young, to be able to stand up, to say what they need to say, have the courage of their convictions, to ensure that they understand the complex and complicated issue of water resources, and to be able to clearly articulate what they mean in a national space, but for local outcomes.